talking about becoming independent, right? So that's Mel Gibson. You could thank Mel Gibson for that. Scotland, William Wallace, right? You'll never take our, you may take our lives, but you'll never take our freedom. So that's good news, okay? So Scotland, Britain, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales. This is, there's like 5 different countries when it comes to the, United Kingdom or Great Britain or just Britain or England or, Scotland and all those other countries. There's like so many different nations and just, there's 2 islands. So why don't we just have island number 1, island number 2? I think that would be a lot easier. I've been noticing a wild sort of, not wild, but just a sort of a pattern, okay, with with our comedians. And we got a British invasion going on. So let's go back to the first British invasion, right? So in the very beginning, the first British invasion was when the Beatles came in. So during the 60s, right, it was a big countercultural effort. Wikipedia, they're saying British invasion is a phenomenon that occurred in the mid-1960s when rock and pop music acts from the United Kingdom, as well as other aspects of British culture, became popular in the United States. And it was significant to the rising counterculture on both sides of the Atlantic. Rock music groups, the Beatles, the Dave Clark Five, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones, and the Who were at the forefront of the invasion, okay? So Beatles. Yeah, Rolling Stones, you can't get no fucking satisfaction, but the Beatles, okay? So the Beatles are like the biggest ones, and they, you had Beatlemania, right? I remember even in high school, like, everybody wants to do the new stuff and get into the new stuff. But I remember John Preston was really big into them, went to high school with him. Also, Collins sang Let It Be. So it's let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Which is good, right? Just let it go, right? Just let it go. But, I don't know, if somebody killed your daughter and you're, been chasing the killer for a long-ass time and you're right on the trail, don't let that be. Keep on going with that. So there's like 4 other songs here I've mentioned. So Let It Be, Yesterday, Our Trouble Seems So Far Away, right? I Believe in Yesterday, which I believe in yesterday. That's not really forward thinking, right? That's kind of backwards thinking. But those who control the past control the future. So I don't hate Lennon and McCartney and George, I guess, and Ringo. So, okay, you got Let It Be, you got Yesterday, and then the 2 best songs, okay? They got a song about revolution, right? So you say you want a revolution, something about evolution, and then, no, we're not going to be violent, but we're still going to do a revolution, right? And there's many ways to do revolutions. I'm a revolutionary. I'm in favor of a revolution. I'm going to be a revolutionary till the day I die, as long as there's going to be people, which is normal, right, to sort of dominate others. It's to have power over others, I think, is a human trait. But in order to evolve and get better, we need to understand that we all have that trait, and since we all don't want to be slaves, we need to knock it off. When they says, hey, go pick that up, go fuck yourself. I'm not your fucking slave. Do you understand that? Do you understand that I'm not your slave? Like, some people is like, oh, shut up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's true, and it's bullshit. Slavery's fucking illegal, right? So, okay, anyways. Slavery is bad. So the revolution, yes, we need to evolve, and actually that's all Russell Brand keeps talking about is evolving to the next thing, okay? Yeah, we've been these ape-like creatures. We've been sort of wild ape creatures, right? We've been able to get our water and our resources. We've built these cities. We've done all that the ape people could do. Now let's go to the next step, okay? We've got, water. We've got, be able to provide for ourselves and for the people, but what's next? Is that all there is? And Russell Brand's also talking about how we don't have the language in order to just think about, the ideas of the future. People are just chasing material objects, and they try to get rich and get all this money and shit, and then they just feel so empty inside. Basically they're dying of a spiritual death just for comfort. And Russell Brand has so many fucking things. Actually, I got a man crush on Russell Brand, and Russell Brand is one of several people. Russell Brand was the one talking about Scotland independence. I watched that. He just posted it, The Trues. He's been slamming Sean Hannity. He's been slamming Bill O'Reilly, you're a disgrace to your flag. And yes, Bill O'Reilly is a fucking disgrace to every fucking thing that's good with this fucking society. His average viewership is 72 years old, so just to let you know, those are the people who watch fucking Bill O'Reilly. The old curmudgeon fucking white supremacist fucking people sitting in their damn houses just shaking their fist at everybody. The same people shaking their fucking fist at the hippies and, you know, the 1960s. And if they hated American people who wanted peace and freedom, they're going to hate all other fucking groups, right? If you hate such a huge, significant part of the American population, you're probably not going to like Mexicans, Chinese, Arabs, right? Probably not even, I don't know, but you're full of hate, okay? You're full of hate. You say, oh, I love America, but then I hate those Americans who's protesting and using their free speech. Do you really love this country? It seems like you just kind of love the president, not the people, or the communities. Alright, so this is all about the British invasion, okay? So the British invasion. So the Beatles, you had the revolution. Oh, imagine, okay? Imagine all the people living for the day. Hey, hey. And imagine, you know, imagine a world without religion and peace and everybody being together and being happy. Fucking imagine it. I remember that fucking video, right? Imagine all the people. Fuck Yono Ono. Oh my fucking God. Bill Burr talks about this one scene where you have Chuck Berry and you have, you know, John Lennon sitting there singing a fucking classic great song, and then Yoko Ono's just going, oh, just fucking just shouting out some words of jihad and shit. She's an insecure, shitty fucking piece of shit. She's insecure, untalented, selfish, and it just goes to show you that, you know, if you get one bad piece of pussy, it can absolutely fucking not just destroy you, destroy your band, destroy your career, destroy your future, destroy all that you are. Okay? So, you know, John Lennon loved Yoko Ono, so I have no idea what really Yoko meant to him, but I could tell in Yoko's eyes that she didn't give a shit about John. It was all about control and manipulation and do this and do that, and always be in their face and shit. And I don't give a fuck about that type of shit. And, you know, like I said, she's untalented, insecure, and fuck her. These two fucking greats are performing on stage, but she is so fucking insecure. You know, she has to fucking sit there and say that. But imagine, if you've seen that fucking video, imagine, she's such a fucking stuck-up fucking piece of shit. She is such a fucking asshole. Fuck Yoko Ono, okay? But we're not talking about Yoko Ono here. We're talking about the British invasion of comedy in America recently, okay? So there's been a shit ton of fucking British comedians that have come into America and have absolutely killed and just dominated and exploded and went to the, you know, to the very top in box office and TV and, you know, lots of different comedy shows. So the comedians I'm talking about of the British invasion, not just Russell Brand, but also Ricky Gervais, John Oliver, Sacha Baron Cohen, Simon Pegg, Russell Brand, and I throw in Simon Cowell, but just not as a comedian. I mean, he might have some jokes and shit, but really his life is a fucking joke. He's like going around like picking up these little girls in Philippines and shit. I don't know. But okay, so the British invasion of comedy. Let's stick with the Power Five, okay? The Power Five is Ricky Gervais, Russell Brand, John Oliver, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Simon Pegg, okay? So all these fucking guys are really fucking great. What's even better with them, you know, I like how Russell Brand is really putting himself into American politics. And maybe we should do that for Britain. We should do that for other countries, because it's so easy, I think, with an outsider's perspective. You actually, you have, you know, you don't have all that in-group, love it or leave it bullshit bias, right? Yeah, I love my fucking country, okay? But I also want it to improve. Can you understand that? Can you fucking understand that? Like, I like myself, I like who I am, but I can get better. I like my vehicle, but I can, you know, I can wash it and make it clean. Just because you love something doesn't mean you're not allowed to criticize it and make it better. If my fucking truck is dirty, well, I love my truck. It's nice, but it's fucking dirty, so I need to go wash it and make it better. So people love it or leave it, love it or leave it. So I got a dirty-ass truck, just love it and not fucking take care of it. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid-ass motherfuckers. And why I'm going after stupid ass motherfuckers. Fuck all you fucking racists. That's a fucking mental illness, you fucking prick. You're gonna hate somebody just because they have a specific skin color. That'd be like if somebody had a red coat, right? Somebody's wearing a red coat and you're like, oh, fuck that, you know, fuck Sally. Sally got a red coat. Fuck all those people with the red coats. The British, though, they're the fucking red coats, and I don't know if you remember that shit. I remember that shit, and it's fucking bullshit what they did. So that actually makes sense when you have red coats that's tied to some sort of authority figure, but just somebody wearing green or purple or something, you know. That's how stupid fucking racism is. I'm not sure why I wanted to throw that in there, but there it is, and now you know. This is actually... I don't know how long it's gonna take. I think I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna do this whole fucking thing in one shot, even if it takes, you know, 15 fucking hours. Okay. So sit back and enjoy. You know, hopefully just play this and you would do some dishes, you know, clean up and shit, and you know, use it as sort of a. I don't give a fuck. Don't listen to it if you don't want to. You know, since I'm in such high demand, and people are like, hey, what do you think about all this British? You know, like everything that I think, people always say, hey man, what do you think about this thing? What do you think about this issue? Okay, hold on, I'll let you know. Well, first I think this, and I think... okay, so let's go to the British invasion. So you got Ricky Gervais, badass, Russell Brand, badass, John Oliver, Sacha Baron Cohen, Simon Pegg. Fucking badass, it's fucking hilarious, great stuff, okay? So they come from a different country, they have their own unique perspective, none of that dumb love it or leave it bullshit fucking in-group bias, right? When you get into a group, your group is better than all the other groups, and, you know, groupthink tends to say, hey, you know, sometimes you might have some good ideas. Let's go to movies, let's go to the ice cream shop. Hey, let's all, you know, move down into South America and start Jonestown, and when the government comes down, let's shoot them, and then let's all commit mass suicide. Probably somebody should jump up and say, hold on there, Jim Jones. Mass suicide? I'm not for sure if I'm going to be going that route. Okay, so the, you know, love it or leave it. You want it to improve. You know, you don't want that in-group sort of bias. You don't want that sort of group think just dominating. In fact, I almost feel like in every group you need one person that just counters every idea just in case. Just in case, you know, because you know that just because, you know, the group seems like they're in favor of the idea, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea, or if they're really truly in favor of it. They could just be following their fucking leader, right? Their fucking dictator. People feel, oh, I need to be led around by a fucking, you know, a bridle. Oh, really? You're not a fucking person? You don't give a fuck about your own freedom and independence? Do you even matter? Do you even matter? So I love my country. I also want it to improve. That's not hard to comprehend. Love doesn't mean you let your own government get away with its crimes. Love means you care about others, okay? And so let's see. Let's just go down with the comedians. Ricky Gervais, okay? So Ricky Gervais has been doing this Derek character on fucking HBO, and I think he's ruined his fucking career, and that sucks because he had such a great fucking... he just rose out of nowhere. He used to be like this old 80s pop star. He was like an 80s pop star like David Bowie, and he's all like doing like the blue steel look, trying to be all sexy and shit. And I don't know, it's cute because like now when you've seen the invention of lying, he really makes fun of himself. He's short, dumpy with a pudgy nose. And the invention of lying, you know, was like an incredible movie. The Invention of Lying was a great movie. So that's, you know, so all the political capital that he built up, you know, for the last 10 years or so, I feel like he's absolutely destroyed it with Derek. But let's not, I don't know, there's a thing about like on that movie Tropic Thunder about how you never go full on retard, right? So you could do Forrest Gump and you could do, you know, half retarded people, but when you go full retarded, then that's when you lose your career, and you never go full on retarded. And that's what Derek is. That's what Ricky Gervais is doing. He's playing a fucking retarded character, and he's supposed to be fucking funny or something. I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't get into it. I couldn't get into his character. I couldn't fucking do it. And then people are like, what is he? Has he got autism? Does he have this and all that? And then he tries to say, oh, no, he doesn't have none of that stuff. And I'm not making fun of him. Get the fuck out of here, man. You are making fun of him. You are a dick. Your stand-up, like, insinuated that you made fun of lots of fucking people, right? That's on the down and out. So, okay, I'm not going to dwell on Derek anymore. So let's just talk about the Ricky Gervais that I remember, that I grew up with in the last 5 years. and that's really awesome, okay? So, Ricky Gervais, let's see all that he's done. He has a political stand-up show out of England. So if you haven't seen any Ricky Gervais, check out Out of England, okay? 1 and 2, I think. Especially the bit about Nietzsche and Hitler. So, you know, Adolf Hitler reads Nietzsche about the superhuman, and then Hitler takes it to, like, the whole nother level, right, and just starts a Holocaust. And so he pretends to have a conversation between Nietzsche and Adolf Hitler, and then, you know, Nietzsche's just like, oh, yeah, we should be superhuman, and then, you know, we should be our best selves and be strong and do what we can. And then Hitler's like, oh, yeah, so you mean like have a superhuman race and then exterminate all the weak ones? I've already got a program just like that, and I'm implementing it right now. And then Nietzsche's like, wait a second. You did what? You took my words and you twisted them to mean what? And it's like, no, that is not what I meant, okay? Hitler, you did it, you got it all wrong. And then Hitler's like, oh, my bad. So I don't know, I didn't do a good watch Ricky Gervais on that bit, okay? I was just trying to explain the bit. I was trying to perform it a little bit. Actually, I will do a performance here. So we have, Ralphie May. Ralphie May is talking about his son, and he's talking about how he taught his son the phrase "fuck it," and his wife is getting all pissed off and saying, "Oh, don't cuss in front of the kids, blah blah blah. You're teaching them bad habits. Shut the fuck up," right? So Ralphie May says he taught the kid "fuck it." He taught this kid the phrase "fuck it," and so Ralphie May is like, "Hey, you know, hey son, what would you like to eat?" And the kid's like playing Nintendo or some shit, and he's like, "Ah, fuck it," and it's like, oh, okay, so like a sandwich or something? Nah, fuck it. Alright, here's a sandwich. It's a good kid. I like him. I like his kid. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. What do you want? Ah, fuck it. Just give me something to eat. Just give me any fucking thing. It doesn't fucking matter. Just give me something. So, and that's, you know, I don't know. I don't know anybody who doesn't fucking cuss. And the politicians cuss, a lot of powerful people in business. People try to put on a fucking fake sort of thing, but when it actually comes to real fucking issues and real business, fucking those words fly all the time. So HBO, you know, the Young Turks, a lot of these times, and actually a well-placed cuss word, right, like Gone with the Wind. Hold the fuck on, right? Frankly, my dear, don't give a damn. Whoa, what did he just say? He just said damn. But that was well-placed. It was very strong, okay? So I think those are very effective. So, you know, you don't want to be like, well, motherfucker did this, fucking motherfucker did this, you know, like that's, I don't know. The cussing is distracting from your message. So I think you should only, you know, use so-called cuss words, the 7 most powerful, the 7 words you're not allowed to say on TV: fuck, cunt, piss, shit, motherfucker, cocksucker, tits. Those, you know, I don't know, I say use them sparingly, but I don't know, right? You have power, they're powerful, society puts all this fucking extra emphasis on words as if like that fucking means something. So if you say, hey, you're a piece of shit, that's somehow equivalent to somebody like fucking beating somebody up. Well, yeah, he fought him and did this and did that. We give him a detention, we told him not to do it again. Well, you know, that person called that person, you know, a fucking son of a bitch. Whoa. What did he do? Well, we need 2 detentions for that. You know what I mean? It's like, get the fuck out of here. They're not even close to being equivalent. So, Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais, okay? So, he did the movie The Invention of Lying, which is great, talking about how people love invisible sky god, right? Oh, invisible, you know, he's the invention of lying. Everybody always tells the truth in this society, except for Ricky Gervais. He has the ability to start lying. And then since everybody tells the truth, when anybody says something, the other people believe it because that's just what it is, you know? Like, hey, I saw an accident and there's going to be a traffic jam. We need to go, oh, okay, that's just what it is. But Ricky Gervais starts lying, and they believe him because the whole society is all about telling the truth. So he goes to the bank, says he has $100,000. She looks at it and says, well, my computer doesn't say that it has any money like that. Well, I'm sure it's just a glitch. It's just a mistake. Let me get that money for you. And then went ahead and give him a whole bunch of money. The truthfulness it's a little overwhelming, but I think it's actually really nice, okay? When they're out on a date, they're kind of saying how, like, the actress was way out of Ricky Gervais's league and how he was dumb and stupid. Even the waiter was saying that type of shit. And so, you know, to always be so truthful all the time, you know, I don't know. I guess if you're fucking short and pudgy and That would suck. But okay, so the idea of invention of lying, he starts lying and everybody starts believing him. And then eventually he's like, hey, how do you have all these powers? And he's like, well, I'll tell you how I know. There's an invisible guy up in the clouds, and he told me to tell you guys you need to do this and do this and do that and all this other shit. So basically like Noah's Ark, right, giving the Ten Commandments. I think it's really good. It's an atheist movie. We haven't seen much atheism in America. We have a little bit of George Carlin. We got a little bit of, you know, Bill Maher. But really, atheists are like a minority in this group. They're not politically getting organized. They're not getting together. They're not doing anything meaningful, right? So they're not actually... they're the persecuted. You want to talk about Christians having a persecution complex? The atheists are fucking persecuted. And you know what? You know what it feels like being an atheist? It feels like you're the only person who's sober, you know, in a car, who's riding in the back seat, and everybody else is fucking drunk. Everybody else is fucking drunk, and they think you know, their ideas are better, and they can drive the goddamn car way fucking better. But they're believing in fucking mysticism and fucking, you know, fables and hocus pocus and bullshit. They're believing in fucking nothing and absolutely nothing. And actually, I was going to wait for the end for these, but I guess you get these right now. Jesus is just Santa Claus for adults, right? So we teach Santa Claus and we laugh at the kids, right? Oh, they believed him, ha ha ha, and shit. Well, look at the adults. Well, Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, oh, it's the Trinity, it's 3 and 1, and it's all together. Fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Jesus is just Santa Claus for adults, you know, so that's just a bunch of child's play, a bunch of bullshit. And in fact, I feel like you're actually probably a shittier fucking person if you believe in God. And, you know, you're not doing good things. If you do good things, that's fine, okay? If you're a good person, you do good things, and it comes out of religion, that's fine. Unfortunately, I don't think that religion actually does much good. I think what it does is it brainwashes people. I believe in God. I go to church, so therefore I'm a good person. I don't have to do good things for other people. I don't need to do the things that I fucking say. I went to church. I saw other people. I feel like you know, if someone was to say, are you good or bad? Well, I'm a good person, right? Well, can you prove it? No, not really. But so that's you know. So the atheist sidebar: farmers work hard to grow food. Factory workers work hard to package them. Truckers work hard to deliver them to the store. The clerks work hard to arrange them on the shelves for you to buy. And all you do is you give fucking thanks to an invisible man living in the sky? What an ungrateful fucking prick. Jose Miguel Mencius. And that's absolutely fucking true, right? So that's what I was trying to say before, is that people who believe in God are more immoral because they have they're believing bullshit, they believe in fucking lies, and then they're telling those lies to their fucking kids. And all those lies is just to manipulate everybody, right? It's all about oppression and hierarchy. Like I said, the sort of the will to power, the will to want to dominate over others is human and in all of us. But when you have religions, you know, brainwashing you, and then the Catholic Church, like the Catholic Church, it is strict hierarchy. Man, woman, child. One over another over another. That's what the fuck this is about. And, you know, the immoral part is that, you know, not only are you lying and teaching fucking lies about the shit, but also everything that comes with that. Everything that comes with that. So, you know, hey, there's a big spaghetti monster in the sky. It's true. You better believe it. I'm your daddy. I'm going to tell you it's true. And if you don't fucking believe it, I'll get all pissed off at you. And now you're going to go around this whole fucking, you know, time thinking that there's a goddamn spaghetti monster up in the fucking clouds, and then everything this fucking holy book that the spaghetti monster had written is what you're supposed to do and everybody else is supposed to do if they want to be good and make it to the spaghetti monster's fucking, you know, paradise once they die. And that's another thing. Your Christianity, I don't know, I can go on and on about religion, but Nietzsche had said about religion was that if you're going to be a king or a monarch, the best fucking religion to have is Christianity. They're going to be poor. They're going to turn the other fucking cheek. They're going to let you kick their ass. They're going to let you fucking take everything. And they're going to go to heaven, right? But you're fucking in heaven here on earth with all your wealth and riches while they're in fucking hell and misery and poverty. So that's, you know, that's kind of sad, right? But that's Christianity. So if I'm a fucking king, yeah, be a bunch of Christians. Be a bunch of Christians and just worship, you know, the monarch, right? So if I'm the fucking king, yeah, definitely worship me because I'm basically, you know, the priest and we're good, you know, we're good, right? So I'm in with God, you know, he's like my right-hand man. So, yeah, me and God's good, right? So, you know, so obedience lets you go on to it. Okay, so anyway, so Ricky Gervais. That's Ricky Gervais, right? So a lot of comedians have poked fun at about atheism, but when Ricky Gervais came up, when he did the invention of lying, he really changed things, okay? So that was really fucking fun. It was really good. It was funny. It was cool. And yeah, so that's, he also has a stand-up routine about Noah's Ark, and he was, you know, he read a book, basically a children's book about Noah's Ark, and it was really clever. It was really good, and immediately, right, he was like, man, these people are wicked, and the wickedness was just somebody, like, sticking their finger up somebody's nose or something. So no rape or killing or something, but just kind of people bullying others and sticking their fingers in other people's noses. That's what, you know, the book of Noah's Ark, his little children's book of Noah's Ark was about. So immediately, right, there's a bunch of wicked people, so just go straight to genocide. God just says, fuck it, we're going to wipe out everybody. We're killing everybody, fuck it. And you know what? Like, God could just clap and create the entire fucking world, but he couldn't just wipe out the world. He had to get, like, you know, design this big-ass scheme, put one of his humans, you know. God is basically, you know, is just manipulating. It's like Earth is his fucking toy soldiers, and he's just like, man, I don't like how I created this. I'm gonna kill all these people except for one family. I'm gonna keep one family. Okay, come on, give me a fucking break. So, you know, Noah's Ark is bullshit. Even the fucking Pope says Adam and Eve is bullshit. So his stand-up routine of Noah's Ark, his atheist beliefs are really cool. He's the one that also says ignorance may be bliss for the ignorant, but for the rest of us, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, so yeah, Noah's Ark, right? You're a fucking ignorant, fucking dumb fuck. Christians is a mental illness. Again, it's like racism. Once you've adopted an ideology, you've adopted an entire fucking philosophy, and you put it into your fucking brain, and you're telling everybody that that's the way it's supposed to be. It's mental illness. It's mental illness. Kids don't choose who they play with until some fucking parent tells them who to play and who not to play with, right? So that's where racism comes in, which where the difference of the religions come in. And John Lennon was against fucking religion 40, 50 years ago. You got the war in Gaza. It's all about my God's better than your God. So, you know, America's protecting Israel and their fucking genocide of about 200 fucking people. 200 people are fucking dead, and then you got over 500 are fucking killed kids. Most of them are civilians. What the fuck you doing, Israel? You're just bombing fucking cities. That's all you're fucking doing. And, yeah, so that's bullshit, right? So the invention of lying was incredible. Stand-up routine about Noah's Ark and all of his atheist beliefs. He's the one who said ignorance. Okay, so then you have the Golden Globes. He wasn't afraid of striking a much-needed and well-deserved blow against Mel Gibson. He comes out of the Golden Globes and just kind of hits this person, hits that person, hits everybody, and it's fucking great. He gets all this fucking shit in the newspapers. Oh, he's so offensive, and how dare he? And got a bunch of bullshit, sort of like how Seth MacFarlane did. But then he comes back next year, and then his opening line was like, you know, I'm back. Did you guys miss me or some shit like that? And so, you know, that's awesome. The way Ricky Gervais came into America is fucking awesome. His stand-up comedy, the movie Invention of Lying is the thing I just talked, the Golden Globes, him hosting the Golden Globes. Part of me thinks he is probably just some poor working class man just trying to, you know, just got lucky or whatever. But good for him. Good for him. He stood up and he said a bunch of shit that needs to be fucking said. He insulted everybody. He was funny too, right? And the same shit happened to Seth MacFarlane, the Oscars. And Seth MacFarlane's probably one of the funniest fucking hosts ever, just like Ricky Gervais. If he wasn't funny, why would he have been invited back? Also, fuck Billy Crystal. I wrote that down. Just I wanted to make sure that is known. Okay, if anybody's like, hey, what is Jonathan Masters? What is Jonathan? What the fuck does he think about Muhammad Ali or Billy Crystal? Because of Muhammad Ali, because of the shit he was saying about Muhammad Ali, fuck Billy Crystal, okay? So, if anybody's asking, that's my take on Billy fucking Crystal. No, you're not fucking funny. You're not cool. He talked about Robin Williams and how wonderful and life, and full of life and all this shit is. Billy Crystal did this one stand-up where he was like a little boy in Wonderment. Hi, it's Christmas. I'm so excited. Fuck you, Billy. You're so stupid. So, yeah, Billy, you're no fucking Ricky Gervais, okay? Because of fucking Billy Crystals, that's why we're embracing all these British comedians, because they're actually telling us real fucking shit. John Oliver, he had the big, the downfall or the decline of the American Empire. That was his show, The Decline of the American Empire. And he says that he didn't really care for America until America started failing and started going down. Then he fell in love with America because he felt like America was, you know, a beautiful, smart, sophisticated woman who's getting sloppily drunk and is puking all over herself. And so that's, that's how he said America is. So again, these British perspectives come in and they're giving us outside perspectives and they're fucking dead on it, right? So you have the 2008 crisis, the wars and all this fucking shit, and America is slipping, but I see America doing the same shit that they've always been doing. Nothing's changed. Nothing is going to change, unless, I don't know, maybe there's incremental change or something, but it seems very much that people are hitting their grindstones, still going to the, doing their daily monotonous fucking routines, going to the totalitarian schools, fucking loving the fucking police, loving the fucking politicians. They're not giving a shit about them and being apathetic and allowing them to run rough shot over those that are distressed and vulnerable, isolated, those who are marginalized, those who are our most vulnerable members of society. So, yeah. Okay, fuck Billy Crystal and Ricky Gervais. Sadly, he's in the second season of Derek, and he doesn't look like he's planning on stopping. Okay, so he's done all this fucking great shit. Working class man, was able to fucking stand up and actually make something of himself. Now he's doing this stupid retarded thing. He's friends with all these fucking comedians. I don't see why any of these comedians is not telling him not to do this shit. Pull the plug, Ricky Gervais. You're fucking up, man. You're fucking up big time. Quit making fun of retarded people. That's not fucking funny. Make fun of the rich and powerful. That's hilarious. Okay? And also deserved. Okay? So, yeah, he's also doing these weird bath pictures. Oh, I'm in the bath. I'm in the bath. So you're funny. You're goofy. You do goofy, weird shit. Okay? Okay, Ricky Gervais. But what is... I don't know. I feel sorry for Ricky, actually. I feel, what's going on with him? He has that one friend, that whatever, Kirk or Kit, or he always made fun of him on the Ricky Gervais show. Carl Pinkerton. And he was like, oh, Carl, oh, just laughing. Basically, that's all Ricky Gervais' show was, laughing at Carl Pinkerton. But Carl Pinkerton is an individual. He knows who he is, and Ricky Gervais probably takes so much from that. He probably likes Carl Pinkerton and gets a lot of the ideas from Carl Pinkerton out from him, but he makes fun of him all the time. So it's a weird fucking relationship. He respects and admires him in some respects, but basically his public persona is he's just making fun of it. On the show Derek, he was wrestling around with Carl Pinkerton and then farted on him, right? So that's, when you have like a fucking shit show with a bad premise and you're fucking going downhill, now you're farting on your friend, the friend fucking quit, and now you're just out there by yourself. And so who's going to be, your sort of, when you play tennis or whatever, you got to have somebody to spar with. Who's going to be your sparring partner? Who's going to make you, who's going to debate and talk to you and make you more crisp and make you more precise in your ideas and your arguments. I feel sorry for Ricky Gervais, because if he doesn't have a Carl Pinkerton to make fun of, do we have a Ricky Gervais even, to speak of? And hopefully Ricky Gervais pulls his fucking head out of his ass and starts doing some fucking great shit, man. You talking to all them celebrities when you went to talk to Larry David, he was all humble and relaxed. He was like, wait a second, you're interviewing me and you're asking me how I'm supposed to do this? You're supposed to have like questions and stuff and you're supposed to be ready. And he's like, oh. So it was really good. You got to see Larry David's humble and stuff. Ricky's going around, show, lots of love for the celebrity crowd. So, okay, that's Ricky Gervais, right? We all know Ricky Gervais. Damn, an hour. This might be a fucking hour. And that's okay. That's okay. Why is it okay? Well, because I said it's okay. And now I don't believe every fucking second and everything that I think and say is great, okay? And I know that I speak sort of, stream of consciousness when I'm doing this. But it's because when you're watching TV, and if I was like, now let me think about this concept. Hold on. I was on an epiphanous thought here, but now I'm having some doubts. Yeah, so about my epiphanous thoughts and my so-called death. So like that's just regular TV. So when you get on TV, you got to be like, here's a word, here's a word, here's a thing, 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 here's a thing. Okay, and now we're done. And because if you don't do that, it's not good TV watching. There's a visual component to this part too. It's better, I think, for like podcasts or on the radio because I'm just using the voice. That's really the thing. But people like watching something, right, when they're listening to shit. So this, I'm more gesticulating. I'm like, hey, you there, over here. What was that? What's this over here? Somebody at the door? Hand going across the screen. Other hand going across the screen. What is this? Alright, so Russell Brand, okay, so Ricky Gervais, talked a little bit about Ricky Gervais, which is a good fucking British invasion, right, good comedian, Russell Brand. So I got a little man crush, okay, on Russell Brand. He's straight, he fucks women all the time, Katy Perry, right, so he's fucking, he's just legendary, okay, he's just a fucking incredible person. He's funny, he's like got infantile humor, but he's also fucking smart as shit, and he's revolutionary, talking about revolution all over the place, everywhere, going on talk shows, talking about revolution, slammed MSNBC, right, that girl with the blonde hair, what an asshole, she was such a dick to him, you know, like, you know, you gotta take them all in, I was being complimentary and all this other shit. Shut the fuck up. You're stupid. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You're there for eye candy, okay? You're Joe Scarborough's girl. Just fucking read the damn teleprompter and shut the fuck up. I think she's actually, like, related to one of the, Brzezinski or something. One of the old, Department or Secretary of States or somebody that did something with the administration. So Russell Brand, okay, so, you know, he's clean, he's all prettified, right, with that long hair. He did the Messiah Complex show, very funny, but also he looks like Jesus in a way, right, with the long hair, talking revolutionary talk. He says that, you know, Messiah Complex is a mental illness, but he very much seems like he's, you know, encapsulated that mental illness and kind of took it to a different, you know, whole other wavelength. He's not Jesus, right? I'm not sure if Jesus is going around talking about, you know, blowjob jokes and whatnot, but he is a good person for the times that we're in right now, and it's a compliment, and very much he's an evolved Jesus. That's what Russell Brand is, okay, and he's the Jesus that we need, and he's talking, he's hitting a wave, he's hitting a chord. So even if his thoughts, he isn't like a philosopher king, and he's got this well thought out alternative vision, he doesn't even fucking vote, so he probably doesn't even really know much about politics, but he's saying that the only time he gets excited about politics is when he thinks about just overthrowing the entire thing and put something in its place. He's also talking about a spiritual revolution, which is more of a consciousness revolution, right? So it's not so much overturning the government, where it is just sort of us changing who we are on the insides, and then how we sort of interact with each other, and then that, you know, leads to a better world and a better society. So okay, so he's revolutionary, show's revolutionary, especially the first few episodes. I don't know if you saw his show. He was doing the thing about porn, and they was gonna, you know, he asked the crowd if the crowd wanted to see these two random people like get it on and have sex with each other, and the crowd voted to do it, and they were willing to do it. They was about to do it. He stops and says, wait. Love, sex can't just be about this. It's got to be love, and there's got to be more. We got to stop. And so it was great. He used democracy. We're fucking voting, and then at the end he has a great point, and he kind of wraps it all up. And it is a really fucking smart show. He also got the Westboro Baptist Church, the leader, onto the show. Try to give him a big old bear hug. Oh, you just need a hug, don't you, Phelps? Right, Fred Phelps. Tried to give Fred Phelps a hug, and he was like, no, I don't want to do that. And a million other things. He's just really all over the place. I saw that one fucking picture where he had, like, you know, without a shirt on and, like, in front of cheering crowds and shit. He's also a recovering addict. He's big on actually overcoming addiction and how basically the laws and the way people treated it didn't help the situation that he was in. You know, and he goes into it. And so I think he's actually, like, really good for a lot of people on how to be better people, how to be better. He talks about the health effects of yoga and meditation, and he's saying that in our world, you know, those are things that we need. In a secular world, those are the things we need, is that yoga and meditation, all these other sort of rituals and shit from these desert religions, these old fucking 2,000-year-old desert religions, they're not doing it anymore for anybody, right? Like, what the fuck are you... You know, like Christianity, Leviticus, they say you can't wear you can't wear two fabrics, right, of different, you can't wear clothing that's made of two different fabrics. What? So that's the book. That's the shit we're still talking about. Fucking Gaza, Israel. We're bombing people over Abraham, who never existed. There's no fucking Abraham, no Ishmaels. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid ass motherfuckers. You can be religious all you want. I ain't Hitler, but that just goes into the whole idea. You can be stupid if you want to. Go ahead, be stupid. That's fine. As long as it don't affect me, don't hurt me, don't rob me, don't do anything to me. Go ahead and be stupid as you want to be stupid. Go be stupid and get a bunch of stupids to follow your stupid cult. And then you fucking be great, right? It's very Christian nation. I feel very actually isolated, alone, even in the atheist club. Like it seemed like they were more Christian apologists than they were actually like for atheists. And that's sad and embarrassing. I've heard some prominent like atheists talk about, no, we don't need to be political. We hate, you know, all this other, I don't know. So, Russell Brand, I'm going to read actually this passage. This is a little long-winded, but I'm going to, you know, I got some shorter ones coming up. So if you stick with me on this, and then at the very end, you know, I'm going to talk about Britain and the Empire, and so maybe you don't want to know 2 hours worth of all the British people that, that I know and talk about, but perhaps I'll end it at 1 hour, and then if I need to do another one. Man, it's weird. 2 pages. I'm only like in the middle of the fucking second page. Okay. So there he goes. The reality is we have a spherical ecosystem suspended in, as far as we know, infinite space upon which there are billions of carbon-based life forms, of which we presume ourselves to be the most important in a limited amount of resources. This is Russell Brand, okay? And it's true, right? There's only so many resources. There's only one world. And it's limited. It's finite. That's fucking economics, macroeconomics 101. The only systems we can afford to employ are those that rationally serve the planet first, then all of humanity. Not out of some holy bullshit tree-hugging piffle, but because we live on Earth, and there's no alternatives. This is the only planet we got, okay? So progress is polluting and fucking global warming and fucking up this planet. Go fuck yourself. This is the only fucking planet we have, and if you're fucking up this planet, then you're not a friend of mine, okay? We need to care about the environment, especially Kentucky. We got so much fucking beautiful scenery here. We start taking care of our shit. I want to see a culture comp. I want to see a renaissance in Kentucky. I think Kentucky could be so much fucking better than everything I've ever seen for the last fucking 30 years. We could change this. We could do something different. Not only are we a lot poor, a lot of shit that's going on here, but we're in the heart of America. The heart of America. We're taking more tax dollars than every other fucking state out here. We give $1 to Obama, and Obama gives us $1.50, right? So when you have like New Jersey, who gives Obama $1, and then Obama gives them 75 cents, we're taking money from New Jersey to pay for our poor people here. So that's a donor fucking state. We're not, you know, people talk about taxes and shit. It's also a very corrupt state, but it's a we are getting our fair share of the wealth of America, you know, because we're a part of this fucking system. So all these damn fucking Republicans that's trying to say taxes, all this fucking shit, you're trying to kill us. Like Rand Paul. Rand Paul's trying to cut us off, you know, of all this fucking sort of social spending. So no more food stamps, no more lunches for your kids, no more schools, no more hospitals. Anarchy. Pure fucking anarchy. Corporations do as the fuck as they like. You better get with your family, better start organizing. If you ain't got no money, if you're poor, you're going to get flocked, okay? So, reality. Okay, so the only systems we can afford to employ are those that rationally serve the planet first and all of humanity. Not out of some holy bullshit, tree-hugging piffle, but because we live on it without any alternatives. This is why I believe we need a unifying and inclusive spiritual ideology. Atheism and materialism atomize us and anchor us to one frequency of consciousness and inhibit necessary cooperation. Suffering of this magnitude affects us all. We have become prisoners of comfort in the absence of meaning, a people without a unifying myth. Joseph Campbell, comparative mythologist, says our global problems are due to the lack of relevant myths. That we are trying to sustain social cohesion using redundant ideologies devised for a population that lived in deserts millennia ago. So, you know, we don't have myths to sort of bind us all together because this person's different, that person, this different, that's different, everything's so fucking different. But we're all human, and so there's a, you know, we need myths, we need better myth makers and people talking about this shit. So, I don't know, like Daniel Boone, George Washington, these are myths that's part of our national heritage and identity, right? George Washington was an asshole, owned slaves, killed Native Americans, was British, fucking assassinated a fucking French, you know, colonial or whatever, started the French and Indian Wars, an imperialist. He was a British redcoat, right? He's a fucking British redcoat, and he killed a lot of fucking people and genocided a lot of Native Americans. So, whereas, you know, they give him all the credit in the world for being a good war general and winning the independence, when it comes to actually, you know, him having a clean-cut, pure record, that's not true. But we put George Washington's face on the dollar bill. It's what America, you know, it's the father of the fucking country. That's a myth that binds us all together. And then Joseph Campbell is saying we need those type of myths, but instead of like a George Washington figure who, you know, polarizes black folks, Native Americans, especially the Iroquois, French, really every other country, right, is American nationalism. So that would be, you know, Canadian, Mexican. Everybody else is different than, you know, who Washington would be. So he, I don't know, the nationalism. I was talking about nationalism and, okay, so yeah, the myth. So instead of just having a myth that's good for America, we need myths that's good for the entire world. So all of our global problems are due to the lack of relevant myths, according to Joseph Campbell. That we're trying to sustain social cohesion using redundant ideologies devised for a population lived in deserts millennia ago. What does it matter if 2,000 years ago Jesus Christ died on a cross, resurrected, if we're not constantly resurrected to the truth anew, moment to moment? So Jesus was good, whatever, you get something out of that, but if Jesus doesn't make you alive, if there's not a rebirth within yourself, then it doesn't even fucking matter, right? Because that's the important part. But a lot of people are taking it and they're fucking, you know, employing it and prescribing it and putting it on themselves, and then they aren't, you know, they're not getting anything there. So how is his transcendence relevant if we do not resurrect our consciousness from the deceased, moribund mind of our obsolete ideologies and align with our conditions? The motto of pre-Christian man has fulfilled its simian objectives. We have survived. We have created agriculture and cities. Now this version of man must be sacrificed that we can evolve beyond the reaches of ape. These stories contain great clues to our survival when we release ourselves from literalism and superstition. What are ideologies other than a guide for life? Throughout paganism, one finds stories that integrate our species with our environment to the benefit of both. The function and benefits of these belief matrices have been lost with good reason. They're socialist. They were socialist, egalitarian, and integrated. So the old ones, I guess, these are good ones, okay? Socialist, egalitarian, integrated. These are good things. If, like the Celtic people who we revered the rivers, we would prioritize this sacred knowledge and curtail the attempt of any that sought to pollute the rivers. If, like the Nordic people, we believe the souls of our ancestors lived in trees, this connection would make mass deforestation anathema. If, like the native people of America, we believe God was the soil, what would our intuitive response to be the implementation of fracking? You're going to fuck with our soil and our groundwater? The soil, that's God. That's, you put seeds in it, God fucking brings those plants up, gives us food and shit to eat. Without the plants, you don't have animals, that's God. So, you know, the soil's God. So is the sun, water, right? It's all God, right? That's fucking incredible because they have a spiritual fucking belief in the trees and in the soil and, you know, the rivers. People want to fucking take care of that type of shit. So he wants to imbue that type of spirituality in us and give us better myths. So that's the short end, you know, that was the, not the short end, but that's the end of that rant, okay, or whatever, so I'm glad you stuck with me. I got two more quotes about Russell Brand that, you know, just were thought-provoking. One of them, I'll start out with the best one, actually, I think, because it's the one that I keep on fucking thinking about. And I don't exactly know what he means about it, but I get it, okay? I fucking get it. Okay, so he's talking about how there's like 10,000... Man, I can't believe this. I just re-looked it up again. Okay, so... Alright, here it is. Good. Good. Okay, so he's got an inspired quote, and he says, the agricultural revolution took thousands of years. The industrial revolution took hundreds of years. The technological revolution took tens. The spiritual revolution has come, and we only got, and it's going to be momentary. It's going to be just an instant. Okay, so that says two things to me, okay? That says that it's just going to be instantaneous, and we're all just going to awaken. It's just going to happen, right? And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be glorious when that thing happens. But he also saying that we only have an instant to act, too. So that means once we all awaken, then we need to change things. and we only got that instant which to do it. If we all awaken and we don't change shit, the agricultural revolution took thousands of years. Industrial revolution took hundreds of years. Technological revolution took tens, right? Thousands, hundreds, tens. Spiritual revolution has come, and we only have an instant to act. He said it a little bit differently in the interviews that I've watched, but that's the general point, okay? Agricultural, thousands. Industrial, hundreds. Technological, tens. Spiritual revolution, instantaneous. And the idea of the instantaneous spiritual revolution is once you've awakened, once you turn that light on, and you see the truth, and you understand what the fuck is going on around you, you can't turn that light off. Once you've become awake, once you've stopped being a fucking following sheep, just listen to some bitch-ass fucking, you know, oppressor. When you start thinking for your own goddamn self, when you start thinking for your own fucking self, that'll be when the light sparks. That's when, and then when we get everybody thinking for themselves, when everybody is awake, that's the spiritual revolution. The spiritual revolution has come. Now, he was saying here, he's kind of taking it to another level, but we only got instant to act. So he's saying, he thinks that the spiritual revolution is inevitable. It's going to happen. He's basically, it's already here. It's already here. And he's saying that the spiritual revolution, once, you know, people are awake, then we got to get them to the next place. What new system are we going to create? What new world are we going to fucking design? One that's better, one that's more equitable, one that's fair, one that's just, one that's not totalitarian, and one that's not with the illusions of the oligarchs, and we got the voting and the judges, Supreme Courts, and all the bullshit, right? But once you have all these sort of fucking institutions, but really it's the oligarchs, the ruling classes that are controlling the whole fucking thing with impunity, doing whatever the fuck they like, whatever they want to do. So, yes, that's true. The ruling elites have control of Kentucky, have control of America. The working class people only, you know, control what's in their house and in their own personal lives. Maybe they might be like a shift manager or something at fucking Wendy's, so they'll have like 2 little people that's underneath them or some shit. But in terms of actual like camaraderie or solidarity or anything like that, it's nowhere to be found. McDonald's. So give me, for an example, if you have McDonald's, and this is another Russell Brand thought, but take McDonald's instead of having, you know, a corporation where do this, do that type of shit, and then all the profits get sent up the fucking headquarters, and then they all make the fucking money. It's kind of like the whole colonization in a way, right? They send colonies over here, get all this money, then ship it back to the fucking king. So the exact same thing with the fucking corporations. But why is it like that? Why can't we have a McDonald's where the people that are there are working for themselves and the profits that they make goes into their pockets, right? Pay for all the shit and make sure the budget's being paid for, but those are the people in that building. They're the ones making that damn money. How the fuck does somebody, you know, I think, what, Missouri or Louisiana or something, I don't know. Wherever Walmart headquarters is, why are we shipping all of our fucking money to them? Waltons are the four most, the top 10 richest people, the 4 out of the top 10 are fucking Walton kids. A bunch of fucking inherited fucking rich daddy's kids, right? Who's not inspiring, hasn't fucking created anything fucking new. I haven't, you know, and I'm not impressed with you all, the Waltons, okay? Just because you're rich, big fucking deal. You was able, you know what, to take your daddy's money, and once you're a goddamn bazillionaire, it's probably not that hard to maintain bazillionaire status. In fact, you probably could invest in a lot of risky shit and lose 90% of your fucking wealth, and you'll still have, like, millions in the bank, right? So, yeah. Agricultural revolution took thousands of years. Industrial took hundreds. Technological took 10. Spiritual revolution is going to be momentary. So this is Russell Brand. This is deep, heady stuff, okay? This is good stuff. This is really good stuff. The other 2 quotes that I got coming up here, I think 6 and 11. So on the London riots, I'll do the bad one first and then the better one. The London riots in 2000. No, actually, that's not what it is. He's talking about revolution. He's talking about British. On the British character. We British seem to be a bit embarrassed about revolution, like the passion is uncouth, or that some tea might get spilled on our cuffs in the uprising. That revolution is a bit French, or worse still, American. Ah, he's insulting the French and the American Revolution, which aren't real revolutions, like a Haitian revolution, right, where the slaves got the fucking freedom. No slaves got freedom in America, right? the French wanted to reestablish slavery. That's what Napoleon did, right? Use the revolution to fucking spread the ideals of the fucking revolution. Except for he's a white supremacist, imperializing fucking piece of shit bastard. So, we British seem to be a bit embarrassed about revolution, like the passion's uncouth, and that some tea might get spilled in our cups in the uprising. So he's insulting the British character, but at the very same time, pointing at the French and American revolutions, which had British fucking, you know, push, push, we're better than everybody, blah, blah, blah. The powdered wig, right? George Washington, like, you like my powdered wig? Alright, this is my George Washington impersonation. Well, I got a powdered wig, I'm so pretty. Ain't I pretty? You like my wooden teeth? Well, actually, he didn't have wooden teeth. He was taking the teeth from the graves of his slaves. So he's using other people's teeth. And he was using other people, like... Fuck Washington, man. Fuck Washington. If I was Washington, I would have, you know, just said, hey, everybody, let's get along. And it would have worked. It would have fucking worked. So, on innate selfishness, okay, so here's another fucking thing that made me think. Materialism and individualism do in moderation make sense. This is Russell Brand. If you're naked and starving, someone gives you a soup and a blanket, your happiness increases. Of course, right? So you're hungry, you're starving, you don't have shit. Now you got some food, now you got a blanket. You're fucking happy, you're safe, secure, you're warm, you're fed, your belly is full, right? That doesn't mean that if you have 10,000 silken blankets and a golden cauldron of soup made from white rhino cum, your happiness will continue to proportionally increase until you're gouged out, swathed in silk, gurgling up purulescent froth. So, what rich language, what imagery, right? 10,000 silken blankets, right? You got a blanket and food that made you happier, but just because you have all the soup and all the blankets in the world, that doesn't increase your fucking happiness, right? Just because you got 10,000 blankets, you only get warm once. Really, you just need one blanket, right? So having 10,000 doesn't increase your happiness 10,000 times as it did for the person that had no blanket up to the person that actually got in there and had, you know, was happy because they got some fucking warmth that they never had before. So he's saying materialism, individualism is okay in moderation. It makes sense. It makes sense, of course. You know, you got to care about yourself. Same thing I think with greed and self-interest. Everybody's like, I remember getting an argument, well, oh, greed, well, no, I'm different there. You know, I'm American, all about the money, 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 greed, greed, greed. That's fine. Care about your money, care about getting what you want to do. But to say that as if it's like, hey, guess what? I bet you haven't heard this before. I like getting money for me, and I like taking shit and getting stuff for me and eating the good food and doing the good things and fun shit. I like doing that. No fucking shit, right? No shit. People say, oh, not with my money, not with my money. Like their tax dollars. Yeah, your one fucking penny might have got into, you know, one of these poor people's food stamps. Maybe. But you're bitching like you're the ones putting the fucking food right on their fucking table. You're not doing that. That's the state. And the state is usually for corporations. You want them to be for corporations or the people. If they're giving food to the people, that means they're for the people. That's a good fucking thing. If the people are not getting food, then the government is just for the corporation, just for the fucking Waltons who's in a whole nother fucking state and making everybody in Kentucky work for minimum wage fucking wages, you know, not getting fucking dick, but they're the ones that's actually creating all the wealth. They don't own their own labor. They do not get paid for the labor that they actually put in, the wealth that their labor actually creates. Same thing with managers. Managers are probably the fucking laziest fucking bastards on the fucking plantation, right? Massa with this fucking lemonade, right? With this pink fucking lemonade. Massa, you just sitting around not doing shit. Well, Massa making everybody else do shit and he getting rich by being a fucking, you know, a boss. By being an order teller. Do this, do that, do that. And fuck them. I don't see how anybody has any respect for those assholes. They're fucking lazy. They don't fucking work and all they do is tell other people what to do. Is that hard? Hey, Rufus, go fucking fix my shingles. You know, it's not God. It's a baby could fucking do something like that. So Russell Brand, right? So that's Ricky Gervais, Russell Brand, John Oliver. I got a couple more things coming up, so I think I'm gonna cut this off, take a break. But John Oliver, Sacha Baron Cohen, Simon Pegg, I barely touch on them. But then I get into the Great Britain, okay? You want to find out something about Great Britain? You want to find out what, you know, who the fuck are these people and what are they doing today? You know, the whole idea is weird thing. I was watching John Adams and the miniseries, right, with that Paul Giamatti. And there's a scene where John Adams actually gets to meet up with King George III. And the whole idea of a monarch, John Adams was just like salivating on himself. He had a big ass fucking boner. He's meeting the fucking king of England, right? The big ass fucking the monarch that has this big ass empire. And he's just so fucking, you know, just blown away. But anyways, they ended off as basically just based on these letters that they had written each other. And they had said that, well, okay, even though King George was the person, you know, to last consent to the separation, he thinks that because of tradition and blood and culture that the United Kingdom and the United States would actually keep a, you know, a relationship together. And they have for a long ass fucking time. For, I don't know, in both of our detriment, I think. It made us an empire, and then once they lost their fucking empire, they attacked themselves. They're like, Great Britain is basically just like a little parasitical flea that's on America's collar, and because they speak so well, right, George Bush is like, hell, oh, we're gonna go fucking bomb. Oh, wait, that's not. I'm gonna go bomb some Iraq. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bomb Iraq. They got a fucking nuke. I heard somebody said they had a nuke or a yellow cake or so. I don't know. We're gonna bomb. We're gonna bomb Iraq. What am I doing here? Doing a scene about. Fuck. Well, it's 1 hour. I was trying to hurry up and fucking close out on this. But let's see. I was doing... oh yeah, the Great Britain versus America. So you have, you know, dumb fucking George Bush, like being a fucking redneck douchebag. We're gonna bomb Iraq, and then you got Tony Blair gets up and is like, yes, well, Iraq has done this and this and this and blah 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 blah, and I'm so smart. And so they put a fucking that English accent, their fucking attitudes, acting like they're better than everybody, uptight, uppity, extra conservative. They're you know, I don't know. They probably are actually better educated and more intelligent linguistically, have better conversations with one another, but because they're actually talking, they're civically engaged and they're actually talking to one another. But I don't like people that think they're better than others, right? So I don't know. I think the relationship's been bad for us. We're the empire that Great Britain wishes, you know, they could be, and because they've, you know, I don't know. They can't let go of the fucking idea, and so they gotta. Tony Blair knows that if you attach yourself to an American president, then you can actually be a relevant prime minister. But if you don't do that type of shit, then you don't. You know, England basically is begging America to exist in its fucking empire, and actually it's got a substantial portion of the fucking world. Canada, Australia, they both worship fucking Queen fucking Elizabeth II. Canada. We chopped off the heads in 1793. That ends the pre-modern era into the modern age. We're in the modern age because we said fuck the monarchs and fuck all that fucking, you know, the royalty, the 1%, the fucking Catholic Church controlling the 95% of the fucking peasant population. Fuck that type of shit. No, the monarchy, the hierarchy, just because of birth, right? This man gave birth to that person, so that person's going to be king now. That whole shit's fucking bullshit. That's just good for that fucking family. It's not good for the actual people. No shit. And then when Marie Antoinette got her head chopped off and King Louis XVI, which Louisville in Louisiana is named after, when they got their heads chopped off, that ushered in a whole nother era, saying it's time for the end of monarchs and the beginning of liberal democracies. And liberal democracies have won, so now we're at the end of history, right? Liberal democracy is the way it is. And we're at the end of history. So anyways, we can see what Napoleon does. I wish, well, it doesn't matter. We see how Napoleon basically become a monarch of the revolution, a monarch for democracy. So you can have a one sort of unitary face that represents the whole fucking thing. But it's the only way you represent America is if the Americans fucking choose you. If you were sitting there saying, well, you know, I'm Barack Obama's son, and since I'm Barack Obama's son, I should be president. I don't know. Seems like you need more justification than just being born into a fucking rich-ass family in order to succeed and do well. Warren Buffett give his kids no money, no inheritance. Well, it's not in his will, at least. So, and why? Because in America, it shouldn't matter which womb you come out of in order to be successful. That's Warren Buffett. Second richest man in the world. Bill Gates, sterilization, Ebola, GMOs, Illuminati, fight the power, viva la revolution. Come back for the British Invasion 2.